on, y'all? DJ Mr. Bird here. Unfortunately, our interview with David Mack had some technical difficulties and was cut short, but we managed to save a little bit of footage. So here you go and enjoy. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm DJ Mr. Bird of the CodEXTRA podcast, and I'm here with the legendary artist and creator of Marvel's Echo, Mr. David Mack. David Mack, it's been a long weekend. How you been enjoying Rhode Island so far?
Fantastic. My first time here in Rhode Island and at this convention,
Really?
Rhode Island ComicCon, first time here ever. An amazing show for me. Like the people, like the energy, just like a great positivity and enthusiasm here. Super happy to be here.
That's it. I got to put you onto some spots next time. So.
Yeah.
But so you are the creator of Echo. How did the concept of the character come about?
Yeah, I've been writing and drawing a creator-owned series called Kabuki for a long time.
Okay.
And Joe Quesada called me up and said that he was going to be taking over some comics at Marvel under the banner Marvel Knights.
Right.
And that he was going to be drawing Daredevil with Kevin Smith writing it. And then he asked me to take over writing after Kevin Smith on Daredevil. So like gratefully he hired me based on like my writing in Kabuki. And so I said, do you want me to, I want to make sure that I'm writing something that like the artist like wants to draw and, is happy with and kind of write to their strengths as well. And he said, no, write any Daredevil story you want. He just asked one thing, and that's that like a new character was created in the story. And so that character became Echo. I started writing Daredevil with number 9, my first work for Marvel ever. Started as writer on Daredevil, and that's Echo's first appearance.
I tried to find it, but couldn't. I tried to find it here.
Yeah.
So I'm sure I can find it online.
Yeah.
So one of your signature styles with watercolors, I've noticed. Like, what is it about watercolors and added it into comics, which is usually something that doesn't happen. So what is it about watercolors that just said, you know what, I'm gonna put these in comics?
Well, when I was writing and drawing this series called Kabuki, the first story I did in black and white because I felt like, when I'm writing I try to ask the same questions as an artist that I would ask as a writer. Like, how can you tell the story most powerfully? And sometimes when you're writing it, you might say like, even if you know what order it happens, what order is it most powerfully told? Or what is it best told in first person or third person? And all those other choices you can make. So I try to ask that same thing about like the color of it, the style, the media, the look and tone of the visuals as well as the writing. And so with the first Kabuki story, I wanted to do it as a black and white story. But I knew that in the future, when something changed with the character and the story, I was going to introduce color into it. And I knew I had that in my toolbox later on. So I told this sort of like crime noir, Kabuki is sort of like a crime story in Japan, using this black and white crime noir approach at the beginning. And then at a certain point, I brought in like watercolor and collage to contrast that and to give you like a different feel and to show you like something that had totally changed with the character and the story. So as I continued to do Kabuki, for every chapter of Kabuki and often different scenes, I would use like a different art style or a different media as the character evolved and as the story evolved. So I kind of had that in my toolbox, and I guess like the watercolor painting approach resonated with a lot of people because they will still ask me to do covers in that style.
Okay. So with Marvel, bringing Echo to life, how did it feel to see one of your creations come up on the small screen? And what were your feelings on the show?
Yeah, it was incredibly surreal, to be like, I wrote that first Echo story in 1998. It was published in 99. And then like 25 years later, there's a real person portraying the character. Like that was pretty cool. I thought the actress did a great job.
She did.
Yeah. And, for people who may not know, the character is deaf and indigenous. And the actress also is deaf and indigenous.
Right.
That might not have happened if it was made 20 years ago or 15 or 10 years ago.
Definitely not.
And it was amazing, like how true to the character they were. Like, the outfit, the look of the actor, my little triangle design they put on the leather jacket, everything. I thought the actress did a great job, and it was cool to see some of my favorite actors in that show.
Right.
Vincent D'Onofrio in it. You know, Graham Greene died recently. You know, when I was a kid, I saw him like in Dances with Wolves and all kinds of other shows, and he played like Daredevil's like Echo's grandfather figure in the series. You know, which was cool.
And I thought that was powerful as well.
Yeah,
too,
yeah.
so.
And Zach McLaren, that you know from like Fargo or Westworld or a million other things, he played her father. You know, which is a character I created in the story.
Right.
So it was amazing to see like this entire like you know, multi generations of indigenous actors all together, and they might have much of their careers they might have been like the one indigenous character in a story, but now like almost the entirety of the cast was, you know, creating the show all together, you know, with Vincent in it and Vincent's guys. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. So